Hey everybody, welcome back to the Purple People. Well, I am sat in the hot seat today and I feel joy, I feel excited, I feel happiness, I feel just a bundle of love inside of me because I am about to talk to the most sparkly human being. She's Di Wilson and she is my mentor, my teacher, my friend, and she's here today to talk all about the wonders of energy healing. I'm so excited to chat to her because I haven't seen her for quite some time. But this is the lady that I've done all my training with, and she has taught me so much over the years that I've known her. Now, this is the lady that, if you've listened to the first podcast, Becoming a Light Worker, is the lady that basically took me into her place of business, gave me the keys and said, hey, come on, you're working for me. So she obviously saw something in me all those years ago, and it's so nice to catch up with her and have a chat to her today. So I am going to introduce you now to the beautiful Di. I can't wait to hear what she has to say, and I know that you're going to fall in love with her just as I did. So let's all give a big cheer and welcome the lovely Di. Well, hello then, my lovely. Welcome to our podcast, The Purple People. How are you doing today?
Hi, Joe. I am fabulous and I'm definitely a purple person. So thank you for inviting me.
You are the ultimate purple person, I think. Di is very much a purple person in many respects. Not only is she a Reiki master, she's a teacher, she's a mentor, she's a mom, she's a business lady. She absolutely rocks everything she does. And I've brought her on the podcast today just to tell us a little bit about her journey, how she fell in love with healing, and the tools that she finds best to use for her. So, would you like to tell us a little bit about you, Di, and your little background?
I can do. Thanks, honey. So, my story begins with my awesome mum, which I know you knew my mum. And I grew up with quite an unusual childhood because my mum was a clairvoyant medium and everybody in our locality knew me as Betty Wilson's daughter. So I just grew up as Betty Wilson's daughter.
Oh,
And, and I always knew about life beyond the physical. So I could see energy as a kid. I could see light. I could see auras. And I just thought everybody could. I didn't think it was me being special or anything. I just thought that's how everybody saw the world. And then one day at school, the teacher was talking about air, and she mentioned the fact that air was invisible. And this was news to me because I could see air, just like everybody else.
why can't you see it too?
So that's when I realized that. I obviously talked to my mom and she's like, but what you're seeing is energy. It's not the air that you breathe. It's energy, it's spirit, etc., etc. So this has always been with me. But then in my teenage years, I kind of left it behind because obviously you just want to fit in with the crowd. And even though I was still very much Betty Wilson's daughter, I kind of went down the normal route of studying hard, going to university, getting a job and doing all the things that normal people do. But obviously this is just, it's intrinsic to me. So I couldn't stay in the muggle world for long.
I like that.
and and one day I just seen, so I was in my 20s at this time, and I'd seen an advertisement for what I thought was Reiki.
Right.
And I asked my mom, what's this Reiki thing that I keep seeing? And mum said, oh, it's a healing system. So there's a master healer, and the master healer puts it into your hands so you can do it too. And I literally rolled my eyes and said, yeah, right, as if, there you go, you're a healer.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was ridiculous. But curiosity got the better of me.
As it does.
As it does. And literally a few weeks later, I found myself in a Reiki 1 class, my mum and I, and when people now talk about Reiki and finding a Reiki master and making the decision to do Reiki, etc., I just think it's really funny because we just did it totally spontaneously on a whim, just out of curiosity, and without any research whatsoever. And we just landed at a strange guy's house in the middle of Leeds. And he answered the door. And if I now could draw a caricature of a Reiki master, it would have been him. Long white hair, twinkly blue eyes, shirt open to his belly button with a crystal as big as his fist.
Oh my goodness.
I can't remember if he had Jesus sandals on or not, but I wouldn't have been. And when he opened the door and like invited us in, I was like looking at my mum thinking, it could be anybody. What are we doing? We were the only 2 people there. And he told us that he was an ex-SAS like officer.
No way! I never knew that. My goodness.
A little bit about the history of Reiki, the story of Reiki, and then sit in a chair, we'll do the attunement. And I didn't know what an attunement was. So he sat in this chair, he played some tinkling music, he asked us to close our eyes, stood behind me and started doing heavy breathing. I was like, I just wanted to giggle. I was like, what on earth is happening?
What have I signed up for?
And then that was over, and I honestly felt nothing because I was just too freaked out about the whole situation and giving mum like, you know, the
side eye.
And then he said, right, we'll go upstairs, then we'll get the bed out. And I'm like, what? Thankfully, he meant the therapy bed. And I just jumped on it thinking my mum can do this. I'm just going to have a lie down. And as my mum put her hands on me, started doing the Reiki, I could just feel myself settling, feeling like my breath was changing. I was getting more peaceful. And I could feel that my mum's hands were changing. It's like, whoa, something's going on here. I was really, really, again, curious. And then I thought, actually, if my mum can do it, maybe I can as well. So then when we swapped over, mum got on the couch and I started, you know, doing what I was told to do with my hands, still very, very skeptical. And just a wave of peace washed over me, and a wave of just knowing. And I knew in that moment who I was. It sounds really cliche, but it's almost like past, present, and future. I knew I was a healer.
And just like that.
Just like that. And I started to cry. The other 2 looked at me. They kind of knew what was going on for me. And I think I just said, I've come home. And I just knew this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. So at that point, I was just finishing my master's degree, teaching, you know, wanting to be a whiz in education. I loved my job, but I knew in that moment, this is what I want to do in my life. I want to work with energy healing.
Wow.
And
that's like the pinnacle light bulb moment, isn't it? That's incredible.
It really was. I would probably put it in the top 3 experiences of my life.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I've married and had kids since then, so it might not be top 3, but it was a real pivotal moment because I knew. And I'm sure if I'd not found Reiki and I'd carried on in education, I would have had a very happy life. But
I think one way or another, though, it would have come back one way.
It would, because it's who I am.
It is.
So I was so blessed to find it while I was in my 20s. And what I've been doing Reiki, so that was 1995. So like I've just had my 28th birthday of Reiki.
Wow. That's incredible. It's incredible.
Now I've had Reiki longer than I haven't. How do people live without this?
And this is exactly what I say to my people, because you've trained me, you are my Reiki master, so I've had those experiences with you, not some bare-chested hippie guy with socks and sandals on, but you were my teacher, and now I'm a teacher to others. And they all say Reiki 1 is one of my favorites because it's just that moment of after the attunement where they go, where's this been?
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love it.
And then the potential of just integrating it into your life, because I as you know, I teach lots of other things. So somebody may come, learn Indian head massage and use Indian head massage every now and again.
Mm.
But Reiki just integrates into everything that you do, doesn't
Yeah,
it? It's
it
become
does.
part of you, and every conversation, every interaction you have with someone else, you're blessing them with Reiki as well. Everything that you're doing, whether it's cooking a meal or, I don't know, writing a letter, an email, whatever, your break is there if you want it to be there. So it's almost like we've got a superpower that not everybody accesses, isn't it? And then you want to share it with. When I first did Reiki, I literally was. It's funny because I'm vegan now, but I'm not one of those vegan people that talk about it to everybody. But I kind of was like the annoying vegan of Reiki, like 28 years ago. And like I just wanted to tell everybody in the entire world
Yeah.
about Reiki, about energy healing, about how awesome it was. My email address was Reiki Die. I really was. I was Reiki Die, and I just wanted to tell everybody. And my philosophy at that time was, if something's moving, it needs Reiki. So if something moves, Reiki it. If it doesn't move, Reiki it more. And I would be like at work raking the photocopier, and people would come in and they'd like, Di, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I'm just, just giving the copier some energy because it works for me every day. And they're like, all right, okay. But everybody else struggled with that photocopier, but it liked me because I raked it.
So do you think people really noticed the shift in you from, obviously you did your Reiki while you were still working in the teaching?
Yeah.
Were people like, what's happened to Daesh? Or
Well,
was there a
I guess
shift that people felt?
I was already a bit out there. I was already a kind of smiley, happy person that was annoyingly happy, if they were having a bad day and I'd come around the corner. So I'm not so sure. I think what they did notice was the fact that I was talking about Reiki all the time. If anybody had a headache, period pain, just having a rubbish day, it'd just be a look. It might meet me in the library. And
Yeah.
I spent, most of the times and playtimes, I'd have my hands on somebody. Even the
Oh,
caretaker used to come every Friday night. He used to come. I had a little terrace house near the school where I worked, and he used to come every Friday night when he'd finished at school and have a Reiki treatment. He used to charge me £5. I used to charge him £5, and it went straight in the pot for me to do my next training, or to buy a therapy bed or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, but all the staff used to come, and from that, I then started a meditation group, like a weekly meditation group, which were all my teaching friends because they were all stressed. And then from that, I started teaching Reiki. So I left it about a year. I had a year living in Canada, taught my first class while I was there. And then when I came back, just started doing regular Reiki 1 courses and weekly meditations, and it all just went from there.
And now you've got an absolute healing empire.
I've got a Reiki family. Love
It is.
family. I did a share day yesterday, a Reiki share day. And obviously I got on the couch, I'm having some too, please.
Yeah.
So we
Standard.
were all in groups of 3s and 4s and doing group healing. And after I'd had my session, it was just so beautiful. And I said to this lovely lady that had driven, in fact, she'd stayed in a B&B because she'd come from quite a distance, and I've not seen her for a long time. She did a training with me a long time ago. And I kind of, afterwards, I give her a squeeze. I said, oh, that was so awesome. You're all just amazing with Reiki. And she looked at me and went, Di, you're our teacher. You've taught us all. And it's almost like, oh, yeah. I suddenly realized that this amazing day was happening because these people had trusted me enough once upon a time to come and do a Reiki class.
Yeah.
Now they were here sharing and celebrating it, but they're all doing it in their families and in their homes and in their, and in their environments. And it's just like all these ripples every time. You'll get this as well. Every time you attune someone to Reiki, that person's then going out into the world, creating their own ripples of love and healing.
It's funny, actually. Yeah, I do. I understand. I did a Reiki 1 a few weeks ago, and not long after the attunement day, I was running one of the sound baths at the local church,
Yeah.
And all the people from that session were at the sound bath, and they were still in their 21-day cleanse
Yeah.
period. And they just migrated together, and you could just see them. They were all buzzing. They were all like, oh my gosh, since the attunement, this has happened and that's happened. And I feel this and I feel that. And can you believe? And the excitement, it was like looking at small kids on Christmas Day. And I just stood back and watched, and I went,
It's just,
oh,
yeah.
yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like what you said. I mean, I've spent all my life up until now in the entertainment industry, and I've loved it because music is a huge part of who I am. But when I declared to the world, right, that's it, I'm making a healing business, I want to do this, I want to spread Reiki, I want to teach, I want to give treatments, I want a happy little place in the world where people can come and just be who they want to be and express how they want to express. And I'm just like you. I feel like, why did it take me 41 years to do it? I
Yeah.
wished I'd have done it 20 years ago when I had the first little
Yeah.
taster, which was how long ago I did my first
Yeah. It will be.
Reiki with you.
Will be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But
it
you
was like
know what?
2001
Everything is
something.
in perfect timing. And, you know, you are obviously making up for lost time now by
I
really
am.
throwing yourself into it. And things just evolve and happen, don't they? So
Yeah, I suppose everything happens as and when it's meant to.
yeah, absolutely. And your
Oh,
Reiki family will grow, as mine has. And it's just, I was teaching I was teaching a couple of months ago. I think it was lymphatic drainage or something like that. And this lady, you know, we go round and everybody says hello, where they're from, etc. And one lady said, "Oh, I'm from Sheffield, and I do Reiki and I do reflexology, diddly diddly dum." And I just looked at her and I went, "Where did you do your Reiki training?" And she went, "Doncaster." I went, "With Jenny?" And her eyes open, she looked at me and went, "You're my granddaughter."
ah, lovely.
I just kind of recognized her energy. So it's like, wow. So it's now like, you know, I'm so blessed that your Reiki family, you know, it's like my Reiki grandkids are getting, you know,
Yeah.
getting out there as well. So it's just a lovely flat family tree that's just getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I kind of wish I could go back and do all the attunements all over again just to relive it because each one for me was just so special, but in so different ways. And then once you chuck the Sakim on top of it,
Yeah.
it was, and I just like, I want more. Give me some more. What else could I do?
Yeah. Super special. And we are living in a time when there's so many good things out there. You know, when I did Reiki, it took a lot of finding a Reiki master, and there was just Reiki. There wasn't a lot more.
Mm.
Now there's so many different energy healing modalities out there, and just such a lot of good stuff happening. And it's almost like we've passed the Reiki test. The universe tested us with Reiki. Right, there you go. Try Reiki. See how you get on with that. And like, yes, we're embracing it. We're loving it. And now it's like, well, actually, you can try this now as well, and you could try this now as well. And to me, Reiki is just a catalyst. So I love Reiki. I will always teach Reiki because it's given me so much. But it's been a catalyst for me to move on to other things as well.
I
And
was,
that's super special.
yeah,
Like it's life changing, isn't it? It's
it is.
absolutely life changing.
Because you do lots of fantastic things. I will put the link actually to your website in the podcast because it would take me a week to go through everything that you train in and that you teach in. But do you want to tell everybody just a little bit about the quantum breath that you do and the best and just
Yeah,
explain?
I'd love to. So I'd been doing Reiki about 10 or so years. And I just started changing the way that I was working with Reiki, and I started using my breath more. And then from that, I went to train in quantum touch, which is it's a fabulous way of working with energy, but it uses your breath a lot. So I was the first European instructor of quantum touch. I did that for about 10 years, and it was incredible. But I ended up teaching something that I wasn't doing, because while I was working with that, other things were coming to me that I was playing with and evolving. And yeah, so eventually I put quantum touch to one side and developed my own thing, which I called quantum breath energy healing. So quantum touch was a stepping stone for me to get to quantum breath, to kind of really be my own power and just have the confidence when I'm with a client, just to go with whatever I'm being given. And I would find that I would just do something and work with the energy in a new way. And it's like, oh, well, this is good. Like, changes were just instant. So yeah, so I was brave enough maybe 8 years ago, quite a while ago, to actually put it out there to teach. And actually that was really scary, because I knew I could do it, but I didn't know if I could teach anybody else to do it. But I did. And on the last hour of the weekend I was teaching my first quantum breath class, I said to the people that were there, so I'm going to be really indulgent. I'm going to sit in the chair and you're all going to do it on me. I want to feel this, because I've never felt it. I'm teaching you guys it and I've never felt it myself.
Yeah.
And I just started to cry. Like,
Ah.
I can feel it. It's so amazing.
Oh, that is amazing. And it's just like following the process and putting it out there and knowing that it's being given back is just,
Yeah.
there's nothing, there's no words.
Yeah. So what's super special now is that I'm still teaching that in person, but in lockdown, I taught it online because the class that was scheduled couldn't happen. The ladies booked on were like, can we not do a Zoom? And I'm like, oh, I don't know if it'll work through Zoom. So we just thought we'll give it a go and see what happens. And it was phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. So now I teach both levels on Zoom as well as at my venue. And my quantum breath family is growing. And
Well, I suppose the energy has no boundaries, I guess.
Absolutely not. On one of the classes, there's a gorgeous guy from India who is an anaesthetist, and it was actually during COVID, and he was learning these techniques. Literally one day he had a bad back. He was paired up with somebody in Newcastle, and they came back from their little breakout room and he was just beaming. He was like, I don't have any pain anymore. She is amazing. I was like, the fact is that how many thousands of miles are between you?
Yeah.
And managed to clear his back. But he was going into the hospital because they really had COVID bad, and all his, medical friends were really, really stressed and struggling. So he was using quantum breath to keep his colleagues going while they
wow.
were COVID.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And
So
what a thing to have, what a thing to be able to offer as well.
yeah.
It's just like everyone needs to do it.
It's just the power of love, isn't it? The power of love. Yeah. And just harnessing that energy, which to me is just, whether it's Reiki, whether it's quantum breath, whether I'm working with the best technique, it really is embracing your soul light, embracing divine light, sharing that, and magic happens. Magic
It really
happens.
does.
No room. If for example, I'm working with somebody's knee, and I say that because, I've had so many people cancel knee surgeries after, working with knees. I kind of went through a summer of knees because everybody had a sore knee told somebody else had a sore knee. But if you're working with somebody's knee that's in pain and stuck and struggling, but if you get to this amazing place, so whether it's through the quantum breath or through the Reiki, literally the energy that you have between your hands, that you're offering that physical thing, the knee, the knee will start to vibrate with that same love, with that same joy, with that potential. And there's just no room for the pain, for the guilt, for the, I don't know, the shame, whatever it is that's been held in the body, because I really do believe our bodies are just a representation of our lives.
Yeah.
There's no room for it anymore. So what we're doing with healing is we're getting right to the core of whatever it is that's created this. And that's why it's magic, because we're not just skimming over the surface, we're delving in and getting really to what's going on at an unconscious level.
Oh, well, I think you're magic, Di.
Oh, bless you.
I do. I think you're magic from that shy little girl that walked into your shop on Sands End Beach one day, had half an hour Reiki and bought a tiny crystal, to then being given a set of keys and saying, right, you're coming to work for me. It's like, oh,
Wouldn't it be amazing if all the people that you support, that in fact you can do it, you're closer to the beginning of your Reiki master journey than me, but wouldn't it be wonderful if we kind of kept tabs of everybody and could see the difference that we make? And I know as a teacher that I used to influence lives and affect little ones and
yeah,
positivity and joy, but through the years of working with energy healing, I just look back sometimes, I just think, wow, how special is it that we've been able to sprinkle this magic.
I know. It's just like everything's interwoven for a reason, like you said earlier. Everything just has the right place, the right moment, the right time. And I often think, if I'd not walked into that Sands End shop,
I'm
would
glad
I
you, darling.
would I have gone the same way? Would it have come and found me in a different direction? Or, but I think I was meant to meet you. I really do.
Special.
Yeah, and you've been the best teacher, and just even after I've done all the trainings and teachings I've done with you, you're still always at the end of a phone if I need something. You're there when I say, Di, I might be able to have a shop. Should I do it? What should I do? Yeah, go for it, Joe, go for it. You're so supportive, and you're just a lovely human being.
Oh, thank you, darling. I'll polish my halo.
Yeah, you are. You're wonderful. And if I can pass on half of the teachings that I think I've learned from you and your mom, because I spent quite a few times
Yeah,
having good chats with your mom, if I can pass little sprinkles on, then I
I
think
do it.
job well done.
Yeah, absolutely. We are so blessed to be able to have that mission. And the
So,
I don't know where you're going with it, but for me, I am just, my mission now is all about empowering women. I like working with guys. I had a lovely guy in the share day yesterday, gorgeous energy. But my absolute mission is to help women to know that they're worthy, that they are able to be themselves. They are absolutely have permission to shine.
yeah,
And that's what's happened with you, is you've stepped into that knowing that you were allowed to shine. You
yeah,
could shine on stage and you were
yeah.
very good at that, but you weren't you were performing.
Oh, yeah, it was a mask.
But
Alter
now
ego.
you can shine in your own right, and
Yeah,
it's into that. And that's what I want to do to help women.
that's amazing. I think, oh, oh, I feel really emotional now. Um, I think
So
the,
anyone that is looking on my website, go to the free stuff.
yes,
And 3 times a year, I offer a 5-day challenge called Remembering Your Light. And it's all about empowering women.
which I've done, and it's amazing. And my sister's done it as well. She really loved
She
it.
really enjoyed it as
She
well.
really did. She
The
got a
next
lot
one's
out of
in
it.
June, I think.
Oh, I want to just talk to you all day, all day.
Well, I'm having a massage this afternoon, so
Yeah. Oh, I'm jealous.
had himself, low me. Yes, it's the best.
Don't forget the healers need healing too.
Yeah. See, I know I deserve it. I deserve it. In order for me to shine, my self-care has to be the best.
Exactly. And
Years
that's a
ago.
tough lesson it took me to
Yeah,
learn,
yeah.
because
But
I
you
was a
can't,
glutton for punishment. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
yeah, no, your self-care has to be priority. And I've got better and better at that with every year.
I think I'm getting better. I'm learning to say no now. I'm learning to say that no is not a naughty word.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
do
And
this?
without any
No,
excuses.
sorry. No, I'm off duty now.
Yeah. And say no without any kind of excuse afterwards or explanation. Just like,
Yeah.
no, sorry, can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me a while
Oh.
as well.
Well, I am going to be seeing you actually on the 20th of April.
Good, good. Look
I'm going
forward
to be
to
doing
that.
the natural facelift course with you.
You don't need to look 10 years younger, but you might do at the end of the course.
Oh, well, I'm really looking forward to it. And I get to come and see all the family up in Whitby, and I might even try and sneak in a cheeky little treatment with you the day before or after the course.
Just let me know.
Because I've got 3 days with no responsibilities or children.
Yeah,
So
of course.
yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Mm.
Ah, Di, thank you so much for being
Oh, thank
here
you,
and
darling.
chatting and
So
just being,
excited for you. For you,
well,
you stepping into your light, stepping into your power,
mm,
shining, sharing. So well done, you. Super.
ah, well, thank you very much. And well done you as well, because you've created just, like you said, an army of healers and special people, and just keep doing what you're doing because you're amazing and I love you very much.
I love you too, sweetie pie.
And
Oh,
I shall be speaking to you before the 20th. So I shall see you soon.
see you soon, my lovely. Thank
Take
you.
care, darling. Bye.
Bye.
Ah, what did I tell you? See what an amazing lady she is. Oh, she's just so full of light. She's amazing. I love the bones of her. If you would like to have any more information on Di, you can always visit her website, The Healing Touch. I will put the link in the comments of the podcast. On her website, she has a full treatment list. She has all the courses that she teaches. Or if you just want to be nosy and go and find out more about the lovely Di, then just go and have a read of the website. I am going to just skip off into my day now because I feel absolutely amazing after speaking to her. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you all join in next week for the next episode of The Purple People. From myself, Jo, love you all very much. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll speak to you all soon.